Hello and welcome to episode 22 of The Knitting Esquire, a YouTube channel all about my knitting and crafting adventures. I have quite a bit to catch you up on. It's been a couple of weeks since I last recorded, so I've gotten some projects complete. Um, we have reached over 500 subscribers here, which is just mind blowing to me. But I think back in it must have been episode 17, maybe even 16. It's been a minute. Um, I promised a giveaway once we hit that 500 subscriber mark, and I'm just excited. You being here and spending time with me just makes this awesome. And so I just want to say thank you, and I will talk about that giveaway here shortly. Um, and I have quite a bit of work in progress to show you, as well as maybe some future items that I want to get into this summer. So, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and dive right in? My name is Candace, and you can find me over on Instagram as Candace Sue ESQ Knits, and over on Ravelry as the Knitting ESQ. All of my contact information, my email, and everything will be listed down below in the description box. So you can head over there and find all of that. So, welcome to all of the new subscribers and new viewers. Welcome back to all of my returning viewers. Thank you so much for being here. Just a brief introduction. I am Candace. I live in the Orlando area with my husband and our two boys who are getting so big, and time is going by so fast. I cannot believe that we are almost at the end of the school year already. I'm an attorney and I love to knit. I try to make my knitting diverse. However, I tend to knit a lot of socks. As you can see in this shelf here, I have run out of space for socks. And so that was another thing I was going to inquire with you. So we'll have a discussion about that probably toward the end. Um, and yeah, I think that about sums up who I am. So why don't we go ahead and let's start out with some admin-y stuff. I don't usually do this. I don't usually have a lot of admin to go over, but today is a big day. So 500 subscribers. You are all fantastic. Actually, it's more than that. We're approaching 600 now, which is just mind blowing to me that you take time out of your day to spend with me. So I really appreciate you and your time, and I hope that you're getting some knitting done during our little chats here, and enjoy the socks and other fun yarny goodness that I share with you. So as promised, let's go ahead and I will give the prompt for what our giveaway will be. You will have noticed in probably the most recent episodes, I talk a lot about Mama Jess Knits. I truly love her yarn base. I think that everybody should try to knit a pair of socks or even a small shawl or something with one of her sock sets. It's just fantastic. And her colors are gorgeous. I sign up for her mystery monthly knits each month. It's not a subscription, but she posts at the beginning of every month that the next month is available. So I think yesterday she posted that the June mystery sock set, or even if you don't want the sock set, just the June mystery skein is available for pre-order. So I hopped right on that bus. I've already signed up for June. I will show you what May was. I have May ready. I think that's May. Nope, I lied. I have April's ready to show you, and I think I got the notification that May should be shipping soon, so I'm excited to see what we get for May. All of that to say is that the giveaway will be one of the former mystery knits colorways. It's called I Love Fall, and the mini is called Lucky Penny. So if you missed out on that, this is your opportunity to jump in. So this is actually showing a little bit more coral than it is. It's definitely more orange. Let me see if we can try and get that to not focus on my face. It's definitely more of a yellowy, true orange in there than it is coral. And this Lucky Penny color is pretty true to its colorway there, maybe a little bit darker. Um, so I would like to share this with you for one lucky subscriber. So why don't you go ahead and in the comments below, go ahead and write, what should we do? Maybe we should just do 500, the number 500, 500. And I will go ahead on our next turn, which will hopefully be sooner. May is busy, but I think I have a window in there where I can definitely get an episode in middle of May. So I will leave that open for anybody, and I will send, what I'll do is in Instagram, I'll just post a reminder that I'm going to draw and give you a little bit of extra time to go ahead and get your chance to win this lovely skein of yarn, and then I'll shortly pull from a random generator after that. So I'm really excited to share this with you. I'm really excited to share Mama Jess Knits with you. I really do think it's a fantastic yarn, and her colors are just so great. So this will be going out to one lucky subscriber. And yeah, feel free to write the number 500 and then any other comments that you want to share. I love reading your comments. You've probably noticed that I typically do respond pretty quickly. It's just so fun to interact with all of you. So thank you again for stopping by and being a subscriber. I really appreciate it. Okay, so now that we have admin out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about all of the finished projects that I have gotten through the month of April. I keep forgetting that we're in May now, but it feels like June, so I want to say that it's May for what I just did, but it's April. So, okay. Last time in my works in progress, I shared that I was doing the Happy Birthday Voldemort colorway from a homespun house. I have since completed that. So I started these socks on March 7th and finished them on March 29th. I feel like for whatever reason, I definitely recorded after that. But based off of my show notes from the last time, I had them as a work in progress. So clearly I must have been close. I don't know. Anyway, here they are. This colorway is so phenomenal. I love it so much. And the base is beautiful. It's a very soft base. It's a 75 superwash merino 25 nylon base. And again, this was on, they're not doing these colors anymore. It was last year's kind of their, I guess, year-long colorways, but it was a Hogwarts Happy Birthday Hogwarts colorway bases, and so then they would choose characters from each. So this one was Voldemort. I couldn't turn it down. I love the pink speckles throughout in there, and the green and the black. It's so good. And so yes, started on March 7th, finished on March 29th, and this makes pair number 9 for 25 of 2025. For those of you that are new and haven't maybe watched some of the previous episodes, I have a goal this year to knit 25 pairs of socks for 2025. I did 24 last year for 2024, and you know, I went past 24, but my goal was to get at least 25 in. I think I was near 30 last year. So um, I figured that I would be able to get that done this year for 25 pretty easily since I, um, what's the word that I'm looking for? Since I exceeded my expectations of myself last year. So let's move on to finished object number 2. Which actually I think I finished these like within days of each other. I feel like I must have showed these as a work in progress as well last time, but for whatever reason, I didn't see them on my show notes. So I'm wondering, did I leave these out or not share them at all? I must have shared them. I am subscribed to the row 1 Carnival Minis subscription this year. I have decided that with each month, I'm going to knit a pair of socks out of all of the minis. You get 10-gram minis for the month, and I want scrappy socks. So I still haven't fully decided what I want to do with the remains, but somebody recommended last last time in one of the comments that I should do like a sea glass shirt with it, which would be phenomenal, or even the sea glass cardigan, which is beautiful. It does remind me a lot of my favorite adventure pattern by Dragon Horde Yarn. And I've done two of those pullovers, and I'm turning one of the pullovers into a cardigan this time. And I'll share that with you shortly because it is on my needles right now. So it does remind me a lot of that. So maybe I could do something like that. The other thought I had was just blankets or maybe a really cool like cowl or a musselburgh hat that's really scrappy. So I haven't decided what to do with the leftovers yet. Your comments, I loved them. So if you have more comments, please go ahead and share those below on different suggestions for what to do with those leftovers that are living in this little basket here. Anyway, my March row one minis have finished in this lovely sock, and you can see a little bit, you can see the color changes just slightly, but I don't think it's that bad when you consider those are every time I'm changing the skein of yarn. And so what I have been doing is the Crazy Sock Lady has this great tutorial on how to like weave in as you go, and like her, I have not had any issues with the ends coming out, so I'm just going to continue doing that. I did run out of my leftovers for the toes, heels, and cuffs. I'm just using some leftovers actually from the shawl that's on the back of this chair here. Um, but I had a different color from that same shawl, so it's all very it ties together. So I thought it was close enough, but maybe here, let me flip these over and I'll show you the two different toes. So you can see like one's a bit more speckled and one's a bit more just plain there. But that doesn't bother me. It's not too big of a difference. I don't think anybody will look that closely. So this is my March row one minis. The yarn is by the Yarn Smith. And I started these on March 7th and finished them on March 28th. And this actually was pair 8 for 25 of 2025. So 8 and 9 are now done. And that means I can move in to my next pair. Oh boy, I told you I got a lot done. You know what? I haven't talked about, I haven't told you everything about the socks. Probably because it's the same over and over again. So the pattern that I use is the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars. And I always do 56 stitches for myself. I like them to be negative ease on my feet so they don't slouch down. And then I do 20 rounds of 2x2 rib for the cuff. And then I just follow the rest of the pattern for the heel flap and gusset. It is a slip stitch heel. I think that that fits really nicely on my heel versus trying to do a cut in or the butterfly. Oh, I can never remember. Anyway, I've talked about it several times. I think I talk about it in every episode, but unless I say otherwise, that's probably the pattern that I've used. It's the most simple. I don't have to look at my knitting when I do that, so I can really take it and go and do anything. I knit in the movies all of the time, or we're in the car and I can just knit, knit, knit. And so I really do love that pattern for that. However boring that might be of me. I just love it so much. So I also think that it allows the yarn to do what it's supposed to do to shine because you're not taking away from a big pattern. And so I've noticed on some of the ones that I do a pattern, other than like the heel toe dosey dough by the Crazy Sock Lady, that's perfect for self-striping yarn, I think, because it gives those chevrons and just enough to where it doesn't take away from what's happening with the self-striping. But there's been a few where I've done some of her other designs or even there's like the mermaid. No, Hermione's Everyday Sock, that one, I think that that actually takes away from some of the yarn, especially if you have like a busier yarn. So there is a pair of socks that I shared last time that I'm still working on that I did choose to do a pattern for, but it's a subtle yarn and I'm only using one. I didn't use any kind of minis, and so um yeah. So 3 by the Seas Designs had a fantastic update recently, and I jumped on it. I think it was their spring update. They've done this colorway in the past, and I missed it, and I was disappointed that I think it was like before I knew who 3 by the Seas Designs were. And so I missed it, but they brought it back, and I could not resist doing this in their Stellina base, which is their Amelia base, which is a Stellina, which has a silver Stellina in it. So these are 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% Stellina. And this is their Tea in Wonderland base. Oh, yes. Look, like, this is April. I did these in April. They look like Easter. It looks like you got some Alice's blue dress in there. You got like the tea party table with all of the cups. I love it so much. And you can see the Stellina shine, especially in the black. Um, so this is amazing. Oh, it looks so good on the camera. I can't help it. I just want to stare at it. Again, 56 stitches, the vanilla sockaway on 9-inch circulars by the Crazy Sock Lady, 20 rounds for the rib and 2x2 ribbing, or sorry, 20 rounds for the cuff and 2x2 ribbing. This is the slip stitch heel flap and gusset, and then a pretty black toe, which is just her rounded toe, which is in that pattern. And this pair I started on March 29th, finished them on April 19th, and this is pair number 10 for 25 of 2025. I'm gonna have to put all of these socks back on the blockers because I haven't taken pictures for Ravelry. So all of my project notes are on Ravelry. I will list those down below in the description box. So if you have any questions about them, you can always find more information, but please don't ever hesitate to ask me anything about the projects that I'm sharing with you. If it's easier or you don't have Ravelry or anything like that, I'm so happy to dig in further about projects with you. So don't be shy. Okay. And my final pair of finished socks to share with you. I really should buy another pair of sock blockers to make this a little bit more convenient. However, I only have one pair of sock blockers. This is my row one set for April. It's by Silver Pennies Yarn Co. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it's the same pattern that I've been talking about this entire episode. I started these on April 5th and finished them on April 22nd, and these ones just make me so incredibly happy. Look at the amazing rainbow. Um, it's just like, it's fantastic. So, I should say that the heels, the toes, and the cuffs are Goosey Fibers. I don't remember. It's one of her Autobahn colorways. Again, it came from this leftovers of the shawl behind me, and I finished off the leftovers, so I don't have any more of this. I have one more colorway, I think, left from that shawl that I'll use for my next pair, and then I have a bunch of bare yarn that I'll start using for the heels, toes, and cuffs on this. But so there's that colorway. Again, you can see it matches the toe from the March colorway. It's got those little speckles in there. And you can see the transition on this. It's not terrible though. Um, I don't, I didn't feel that doing the where you like drop down and pick it up to like for the change, it doesn't bother me. So, yep, this is pair number 11 for 25 of 2025. I am nearly halfway through the year and we are just starting May. So that finishes up. I'm sorry, I'm looking down at my notes here. That finishes up my finished projects for today. And I have nearly one more finished project on my needles. So I am just trucking along, which is exciting because we are now in May, which means that the crazy sock lady should be starting her summer sock camp, which I always participate in. I've participated in it for the last couple of years. However, Mama Just Knits is also going to do summer sock knitting. And I think she said that that was going to start sometime in May and go through maybe August as well. So they align perfectly. So I'm excited to do that. And I have so much Mama Just yarn to knit. And so I'm excited to participate in that. And so hopefully, maybe that will give you some inspiration to join in on those knit alongs with me. They're so much fun and so inspiring they certainly have inspired the mess on that shelf. So, okay, let's talk about some of my works in progress. I have 2 pairs of socks living in this lovely bag. Look it. It's Alice in Wonderland again. This is a bag that I've made myself. It is made out of tulip pink fabric. I love tulip pink. I actually just got a ginormous stack of her latest collection, so I'm excited to make some stuff out of that. But it's got this lovely little stripe on the inside there. Okay, so let's talk about the ones that have been on my needles the longest. I have a hoe and a work in progress on that one. So I will share. Is this inside out? It is. I will share the finished one. I'm not going to put it on blockers, but this is finished number 1. And this is the Mahogany Run pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. So you can see here, and I'll try and, yeah, there you go. It's got a very memorable, like memorizable patterning, and there's like a purl stitch every 7 stitches. And then you're doing these little repeats with just some yarn overs to make that lovely like little lace texture in there. Let's see if we can, yeah. And again, 20 rounds, 2x2 ribbing for the cuff. This also has the slip stitch heel flapping gusset. And then once you get down to the foot, the bottom of it is just knit stockinette on the bottom, and then you keep the pattern going on the top, and then down to the toe. I didn't follow the instructions very closely. I don't know if you were supposed to continue the pattern into the toe, but I didn't, which is perfectly fine by me. I didn't really want holes down in my toes down there. So this I am using a Fangirl Fibers yarn. It is from maybe 2021, I think. It's called Ice Cream Queen. Oh, I'm sorry, it's from 2022 because it's their Gilmore Girls 2022 club, and it's called Ice Cream Queen. And it's just very subtle with the pinks, and there's like some neons and some blues and greens in there, and I just really thought that this yarn, with it being as subtle as it is, would look great with the patterning. And so that's, where I was going earlier with that. It doesn't take away from the pattern with having too much going on with the yarn. So this is where I'm at in sock number 2. I'm about 3 repeats in on the cuff or on the leg. So we'll get there. This is just considered kind of a slow sock for me. I knit on it when I can do it in the car. I can't do it in the movies. So I just have been picking it up, especially if if I'm at a spot in my standard socks where I'm like going to a movie, so I don't want to get too far, so I don't have something to do in the movie. I'll switch over and do those socks, so that way I leave my plain vanilla socks for the movies. So those ones I started on March 14th. Again, they're taking me a minute. That's okay. Not upset by that. And then my second pair of socks that I've got going on right now, standard vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars, 20 rounds for the cuff, 60 rounds for the leg. I haven't highlighted that. I always do 60 rounds for the leg. And I do count using the light bulb markers every 10 rows. So then when I get down to the foot, I do 55 rounds before I start the toe, and that creates like a perfect negative ease sock for me. So this one is a 3 by the Sea Designs yarn. They came out with it because it is almost May 4th, which is a Star Wars themed day. May the 4th, right? May the force be with you. May the 4th. This is on their Sanibel base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon base, and this is called Saber's Glow, and it is just amazing. I love how bright this mini is. It is like the most brightest coral pink colorway. It's fantastic, and it picks up in the rest of the sock, but it's supposed to be all of the lightsabers, and it reminds me of the Drone Wars movie where you have, I don't remember, it was like maybe movie like number 2 with the Drone Wars, where they have this scene where you have all of them like numerous lightsabers out there going at the same time. That's what it reminds me of. Standard slip stitch heel and gusset. And I started these on April 19th. Um, and this is where I'm at in sock number 2. I just got through the gusset this morning, and I think I may be 8 rounds into the toe or the foot. And so we are going to see Thunderbolts tonight. And so this will be my sock knitting for that. However, last week, Friday, we went and saw Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, I think that's the one that just came, like they reintroduced it into the theater. So we went and saw Revenge of the Sith, and I did this one for that movie knitting. So I'm excited to get these all wrapped up. Okay, that is my sock whips. When I'm not knitting on the socks, I have been going back to a project that I started a while ago. I don't remember. I must have started it last year. I think it's in my other notebook because it looks like I had this as a carryover. But I've really picked up the pace on it. So, um, I shared this in a previous episode where I was talking about doing some steeking. And so this is the favorite adventure sweater by Dragon Horde Yarn. It is a raglan pullover sweater construction. However, I've added my own extra little bits so that way I can steek it and make it into a cardigan because I love how this looks, and it's made for advents. I love the way that it looks, but I would think I have 2 of them already. I will wear a cardigan more than I will wear a pullover, especially in Florida. Cardigans are easy. I can leave those on the back of my chair when it's cold in the office. I have something to throw on. So that's really where I'm going with this one. And so let me show you before where I was at when I first left off on this. I was at this stitch marker here. I have now split for sleeves, and I am solely just going round and round with this one. And so the main color that I'm using, I don't even remember the colorway name, but it is a Magpie Fibers yarn, and it is on their Swanky sock base, which is a 80% cash merino base, and 20% nylon, I think is what maybe it's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, I think is what that is. You can see the lovely raglan makes on the arm there. And then the advent that I'm using is my 2023 advent from Goosey Fibers, which is Where the Wild Things Are. And so it is just, I'm really in love with this. This is the front. And so this is just bringing me so much joy right now. I'm trying to at least get 2 rounds in a day. So it's one with the colors and one with just the main color. It's such an easy pattern because yes, you're holding 2 yarns, but you're doing a main color and then a main color, and then the mini. So it's not like you're really doing a bunch of color work truly. The floats in it look like this, so it's really super simple. And then you always have a round in between with just the main color, and then you'll do it again. So the last time that I did this with the pullover, I calculated I needed to do 5 rounds of each mini color, which is a total of 10 rounds when you add in the round of just the main color. So it's about an inch-ish, maybe a little short of an inch with every color. And then that leaves me with just enough colors left to do the arms. I think I get down to like day 18 or 19 to get through the bottom of the sweater, the main part of the sweater, and then I'll do 19 through 24 um, on the sleeves to get through the sleeves. So I'm making some good progress now. This one's, I picked it up and I'm inspired to get this one off the needles. So I will just keep trucking along on that. And hopefully I'll make some good progress. I'm almost ready for my second skein of the main color. And this is also living in a bag that I made. This is another tulip pink colorway or pattern. So there's that. So that wraps up what I've been working on most recently. I did just get a notification that my next shipment of row ones is on its way. So those socks will be cast on pretty soon. Actually, what I should just do is go ahead and cast on both of the cuffs for those socks and have those done. So maybe I'll work on that this weekend. Okay, let's talk about some procurements. Um, I have not gone too wild. I've actually kind of shared with you what's come in already. That Tea in Wonderland by 3 by the Sea Designs came in, and then my row one minis, and then the lightsabers glow. When I purchased the lightsabers glow, I also purchased one of the other colorways that they had for the Star Wars update that they did, and it's called Space Princess. I did this one though on their Amelia base, which is the Stellina. So it's a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% Stellina base, and it is gorgeous. I am excited to dig into this. I don't know when I'll get to it, but I am loving it. Actually, what I was thinking is that this would make a great cowl. So I don't think I'm going to make socks out of this one. I think I'm going to find a different project. I love that it came with 2 minis. Um, so, yep. And then my Mama Jess knits for April came in. It's called Shades of Purple and the mini is called Emerald. And this is so April. Oh, it is so good, Jess. You did phenomenal on this one. I can't wait to see what May is, and I love your inspiration color for June, your inspiration photo for June. So I'm excited to see how those come. But this is on her sock base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon for 463 yards. So you get quite a bit of yardage on this one. And like I said, I just love how light the yarn is. It's perfect for Florida. So I don't know if I'll make socks out of this one. This would probably be a great Musselburgh just with like how tonal that purple is. But we'll see. We'll get there. And then last but not least for procurements, um, is the final princess colorway. I can't remember if I shared with you Aurora and Sleeping Beauty, or no, sorry, Snow White. But I didn't want to like hash into all of that. Those I got a few months ago. And so from Mandy's Making, she posted Anna and what's the other sister's name from Let It from Anna, and you're yelling at me. I cannot think of her name. Elsa. There it is. And so I chose the Anna colorway instead of the Elsa colorway because I thought they would pull in some Elsa to it, and she did. It's phenomenal. So this is Mandy's Makings. It's on her sock base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. and that's Anna. And it's so good. That's like a minty blue for the mini, which reminds me of Elsa. And so I'm excited to add this to my princess collection. And those are my procurements for this episode. I haven't gone too overboard. Trying to be a little bit more mindful on that. I have so much to knit already. And for whatever reason, I'm just feeling like even though I'm sharing a lot with you, I still have not been moving very fast. I feel like I should be knitting more socks in the month. I'm getting like 2, maybe 3 done in a good month, and I feel like I should be able to get more than that done, but I don't know what's going on. So, um, one of the things that I do intend to do for summer sock camp, my mother-in-law brought over some fabric, which I'm so excited about. There's gonna be a little crinkle here. Let me just open this so I can pull it out. Um, it's fantastic, and she was excited to share it with me and asked me to make bags for summer sock camp. But this fabric that she found is so cute. I am so excited to make a bag out of it. Look at that. It's so perfect for summer sock camp. And then she's got a few more for the liners on the inside. So this one is like trees, which fits so great. And then there was this one with the bears. And what is awesome about this is that this bear matches this bear that's on this actual fabric. So if that was there and this was the inside, look at it. So I am excited to dig into that and break out my sewing machine and get some bags done for summer sock camp. Um, we've got some busy weekends. I think I might have some time to do that, but we will see. So that's my future sewing plans. Row 1 minis are coming in, so that'll be a new pair of socks to get those going. And I'm gonna need another pair of just plain vanilla. And I'm looking at all of this beautiful yarn on the wall, and I don't know what to do. So I'll figure something out, something that's kind of May, getting me ready for some summer. I don't know, maybe something bright and cheery. Yeah. So we'll get something started. I'll share it with you. Um, Okay, I think that wraps up most everything. I don't have a whole lot of life updates. The kids are doing great. School is coming to an end here. Work is busy as normal. I don't like to complain about work on here, so I'm not going to. My husband and I have been golfing so much. We try to get in, and that's probably where some of my sock knitting has been hurt, is that we have been going out. We try to do 18 on Saturdays and on Sunday, which is a good commitment of time. Usually Sunday afternoon, though, is filled with knitting, and in the mornings before we go and do that, I find time and it gets filled in. But committing at least 4 to 5 hours every Saturday and Sunday, so 10 hours on the weekend for golf, certainly does eat into that. But I am just loving the golf. I've got this beautiful Florida tan going on right now with the golf. I don't have my watch on, but you can definitely see a good tan line there. Um, and so yeah, that's just taken up some of my time, but I'm not complaining about that. The sunshine has been phenomenal. And yeah, I think that's about it for life updates. Not much to do with reading and watching. I've just been really sick of TV. We are watching The Last of Us. I love that show. Oh, and The Studio on Apple TV. That show has been funny. It's been great. So I've been really loving that. Uh, okay. Don't forget to enter the giveaway with the number 500 down below, and I will put something on Instagram when that's going to come to a close. So I hope that you participate. Again, thank you so much for subscribing. And if you haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to ring the bell, subscribe, hit like, do all of the things that YouTube makes YouTube happy. And I will catch up with you next time. Have a great weekend and a great next couple of weeks. Bye.